Imagine finding a simple penny in your pocket, and it turns out to be worth $25,000, $43,000, or even $78,000. Sounds impossible, right? But it's real, and it all comes down to one rare coin, the 1958 D-wheat penny. Only a few exist with a special minting mistake that makes them worth a small fortune. One even sold for over $1.1 million. In this video, I'll show you exactly what to look for, how to spot this hidden treasure, and why one little penny could change your life. Don't miss a second, let's dive in. Let's talk about the 1958 D. Lincoln wheat penny. This coin was made in the Denver Mint, and it was the last year the United States used the wheat ears design on the back. In 1959, the U.S. changed the back of the penny to the Lincoln Memorial. So, 1958 was the end of an era, and for coin collectors, it became a special year. Now, millions and millions of 1958 D wheat pennies were made. Over 800 million, in fact. Most of them are still very common. If you have one in average condition, it's probably only worth 1 or 2 cents. Even in shiny, uncirculated condition, most 1958 D pennies are worth just a few dollars, maybe up to $10 or $20. So what makes some of them worth tens of thousands or even more? It all comes down to errors, special mistakes made when the coins were being created. The most valuable of these is called a double die obverse, or DDO for short. Don't worry about the big name, what it means is simple. During the minting process, the die, which is like a stamp that hits the coin, was made incorrectly. The letters and numbers on the front of the coin were pressed into the die twice, but they weren't lined up right. This created a doubling effect. If you look closely at the words, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," on one of these error coins, it looks like the letters are doubled, like a shadow or a blur, but raised from the surface. That doubling is what makes these pennies so rare and so valuable. Only 3 real 1958 double die pennies are known to exist. That's 3, not 300, not 3,000. Just 3. That's why collectors are willing to pay such high prices to own one. One of these coins sold at auction for $1.1 million in 2023. Another sold years earlier for over $100,000. So you can imagine why collectors and treasure hunters get so excited about these coins. If a fourth example is ever found, it could easily sell for $25,000, $43,000, or even $78,000, depending on how nice it looks and if it's certified by a trusted coin grading company like PCGS or NGC. Now, not every 1958 D penny is worth that much, in fact, almost all of them are not. But there are other types of errors that still bring in good money. For example, some pennies have a repunched mint mark, where the D for Denver was stamped twice in slightly different spots. These coins are worth more than a regular penny and can sell for $10 to $100 or more, depending on condition. There are also coins that were struck off-center, meaning the image is not in the middle of the coin. You might see part of the design missing, or part of the blank planchet showing. These coins are rare too, and collectors will pay $50 to a few $100s, depending on how off-center the strike is. Another error type is when the penny was struck on the wrong kind of metal blank. For example, some 1958 D pennies were made using dime blanks. These are super rare and have sold for $800 to $900. There are even coins where the design looks strange because the metal moved or cracked during minting. These are called die breaks or die chips, and while they're fun, most of them don't add much value unless they are very dramatic. So how do you know if you have one of these special coins? You need to look very closely, and carefully. First, clean your hands, not the coin. Never clean coins with chemicals or scrubbing, that will actually make them worth less. Use a magnifying glass or coin loupe. Focus on the front of the coin, especially the words, "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date, 1958. Look for clear doubling, not shadows, not blurs, but raised double lines in the letters. If you think you see doubling, compare it with pictures of known double die pennies online. You can also take it to a local coin dealer for help. If you think you found something valuable, your next step is to send it to a coin grading company. PCGS and NGC are the most trusted in the business. They'll examine the coin and give it a grade. The better the condition, the more it's worth. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. A grade of MS65 or higher is great. That means it's almost perfect, with sharp details and no damage. That's the kind of coin collectors want to pay big money for. It's also important to be careful. Many people find coins with little marks or strange shapes and think they've found $1 million penny. But most of these are just regular coins with wear, damage, or minor imperfections. A lot of errors you see online are not real mint errors. Some are fake, some are damaged after leaving the mint, and some are just wishful thinking. So do your homework and compare carefully. Still, the dream is real. Someone out there could still find a 1958 D double die penny in a jar, a drawer, or a roll of old coins. Maybe it's been sitting in a shoebox for 60 years, just waiting to be discovered. And that's the fun of coin collecting. You never know what you might find. What looks like a boring old penny might actually be a ticket to tens of thousands of dollars, or more. So next time you're going through your pocket change or an old coin collection, don't skip over those weak pennies. Take a closer look. Check the date. Look for the D mint mark. And always check for doubling. That tiny detail could turn a penny into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Thanks for watching, and good luck hunting. Who knows? The next big penny jackpot might be hiding right in your hand.